Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same with the Grizzly Gentleman, 10% off at checkout on your fantastic beard products. Or you could shop via the TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below to help support the show. And last but of course not least, you can go to Grey Viking Games with the affiliate link below to pillage some sweet arena codes. What's up, Planeswalkers? Third 6-pack with more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're playing some good old-fashioned blue-white control using the Foretold cards, or the Foretell cards, I should say, from Kaldheim. We have, Sod Kabe, we got Niko, Defies, we got these things. Yeah, we're playing Foretold control. Essentially, the point of this deck is you foretell cards and you get value. You're playing a control deck. You win with essentially Teferi or Shark Typhoon. That's the... I guess Starnheim Unleashed as well. You could potentially win with those. But yeah, this is just a very typical kind of blue-white control deck. However, it is using a lot of new cards. I mean, in the main deck, essentially the only old cards. Narset, Absorb, Teferi, and Typhoon. I mean, technically lands, but it's just lands. Yeah, we are running 26 lands. And we'll hop on into best of 3. I do have traditional historic ranked. I do have a note that was sent to me to my P.O. box that I will read during a game when my opponent is being slow, I guess. On this note, they didn't say they didn't want it read. Look at this. And I did say, if you send me things, I'm reading them. Unless, of course, stated otherwise. So yeah. I'm gonna read this. There's a card that goes with it, which I will talk about. Okay, so here, I'm just gonna do this and foretell Doomskar, although it looks like my opponent is probably gonna be on a control as well. Next turn I can shock this and it hold up Absorb. My opponent very well could Thoughtseize me. They likely just take the Absorb if I had to guess. Ooh, okay. See, I think we just hit him with a pay 2 life and pass. Opponent on Sultai. We'll let it happen. And so, like, for what it's worth, some people have said, like, why play Behold the Multiverse when you could just, like, cast it? When you just cast it instead of foretelling it and then casting it. The reason is because if I had this in my hand on turn 1, and I saw blue-black, and I have Doomskar and this, I choose this because I'm less likely to be going against a deck where I need it. I think here I do just want to pass. I could potentially foretell this, but then I wouldn't be able to cast this. So here, we're holding up counter magic, but we're also holding up Behold the Multiverse. But if it were the case that my opponent... I do need another land. But Saw It Coming currently isn't foretold. I'm trying to figure out how certain... Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need multiple counterspells in this match. So what I'm going to do this turn is foretell Saw It Coming. And then I can do Casty Shenanigans. If my opponent doesn't cast anything I need to counterspell, then I get to just cast this Teferi next turn, plus it, and then untap, and I'll have Saw It Coming mana open. Yeah, so my opponent not doing all that much. We cast this. Now, for what it's worth, if this gets countered, that's bad. Okay. They might be digging for a main deck Mystical. They had a Disdainful Stroke. So they're going into 7 mana. I wouldn't have done this on 8. Okay, luckily they had nothing. Also, luckily, I have an additional... Teferi. Let's see. I think I would rather Castle Vantress, though. I think I would rather be able to hold up the mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I can't Ventress and foretell another thing. I think we're just gonna pass here. We missed out on a thing, I think, because we let the rope come up. They'll do that. That's fine. Mark themselves a decent amount. But in Vantress, we're looking for essentially just an untapped land. Shark Typhoon is also quite interesting. I mean, as is Narset. I guess Narset's probably less interesting here. I definitely like the Shark Typhoon, though. Even just as, like, more cycle fodder. Just having stuff to do on end step when your control deck is pretty nice. The unfortunate bit, obviously, is the fact that as a control deck, you want to be playing late. Like, you want to be hitting your lane drops, essentially, every time. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they don't have 10 yet. I'm a little worried about 10, because 10 is actually scary mana. 9. This has to just be like Ulamog in hand, right? No, they Krasis for 6. Okay. I guess I just counter Krasis. They held up 1 mana. Cancel the Krasis. I'm using Absorb here because Saw It Coming can cost less. So they're still going to get to draw 3 cards, blah, 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 whatever. They're going to have to discard some, aren't they? Yeah, 1 card. Thought sees me. No thanks. So they're not going to have to discard. Okay. 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we're just going to get a Teferi's down. And we're going to be very sad if our opponent is able to...
Sorry I'm late. Hold that thought.
Look, Gates of Istfell. I get to untap 2 more lands. Let's help us. I don't think it's going to matter. But yeah, if my opponent just Ulamogs me here, it's going to suck. I can counter the Ulamog, but they're still going to yeet 2 of my permanents. Probably would be Teferi's plus Vantress. Is it worth countering this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'd like to try and keep it around. Now, notably, if I had 4 mana, it's not like I'd be able to counter twice. So. Yes, sir. Okay.
Together, we will prevail. Harness the elements.
Hits my Teferi.
Don't make another move.
Then casts Uro, looks like. I can Doomskar. But you draw first every time. You draw first with Teferi. Cool stuff. They're still full grip. Yes, it was just Sultai ramp. They paid for it. Interesting.
You know what? I'm not done.
You know what? I'm not done yet. I don't need Istfell just yet, because I have access to Ventress. So I think I'm going to do this and Doomskar. Then I can Shark Typhoon to block. 2, 5, a 5/5. Yeah, I think a 5/5 is sufficient. Yeah. I was considering foretelling some of these, but I think I just want to counter things.
The land shall conquer you.
I have to do this first. Awkward. I guess I'm going to hold up Saw It Coming, so I can do this for 3. Yeah, this way I can still hold up the counterspell. dies to a Heartless Act. Eliminate. Wow. 1, 2. I mean, they still have a lot of mana. Fight over it. The problem here, obviously, is them having any sort of big threat, like an Ugin. Because they can kind of just Ugin plus here. Maelstrom Pulse it. That's fine, I suppose.
That didn't go according to plan.
Whisper. That's also fine, I suppose. Yeah, Nissa is a struggle for sure. Anyway, Theoric 6. I found this card in the knot crevice of a tree on a beach in Washington State. I picked it up because I like Magic cards, and technically it was litter in a national park. This seems to be a sentimental memento for Tim and Amber. What are the odds that they are ever reunited with this card? I don't know, but if you are a Tim and or Amber and left a, I think this is revised, like this is the 3rd edition, and you left this in a tree in Washington State, on a beach in Washington State, and somehow you also watch my content, please let me know. I will be keeping this in my rare binder because it tells a nice story. B. Do you think that this is a good card choice to use if establishing a sentimental memento? So this is Castle. It's a revised edition card. 4 total mana. Your untapped creatures get +0/+2. Attacking creatures do not get this bonus. So essentially, even if you're yikers. Well, I guess I can. No, I can't foretell this at instant speed. That sucks. Because I can Doomskar this. The issue is, yeah, I think we're just boned here. Good old Sultai midrange. Sultai Control, really. We love the Mystical Disputes. Love the Dovin's Vetoes. Do we love? Yeah, we love the Ravenforms. There's exiles things. What don't we love? We don't like Niko Defies all that much because it's more against aggressive decks. We don't need the Doomskars as much. Probably don't need all 3 Ravenforms, frankly. Probably don't need all the things for this either. Maybe we don't want any Dovin's Vetoes? The thing is, right, we don't know when Tim and Amber put this in the tree. Although, for what it's worth, like, this card doesn't seem very damaged, right? It's damaged. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like it's super water damaged. The edges aren't god awful. Like the bottom ones aren't great, especially on the back. There's a few like legitimate creases, but like, when it comes down to it, like, if this is just outside, I expected this to be in much worse condition. So we don't know when this card was put out there. Go ahead and do this. And next turn, possibly Narset, although I'm more likely to play this, pass. And then Narset hold up. I can't currently hold up Mystical Dispute, actually. So that would be an issue. Growth Spiral. Do I want to deny them the ramp? I do. Typically, I'm not an advocate for this, but I did want to deny it. Since they have nothing on board, I think I'm just gonna Narset unprotected here.
The past, present, and keep an open mind.
I would rather have a Sod coming, I think. Because there's no way they're casting, like, 2 spells that I can counter next turn. Right? Like, I guess technically... Well, no, because I think I want Sod coming here. I would rather have the hard counter, even though it's going to cost me more mana. So this might just be Uro. Maelstrom Pulse. Eliminate. Needed the black. Okay.
Forget our time together.
So here... Here I think I'm just going to play this tapped... No, I think I really want to. Or I want to be able to cast Teferi's next turn. So we're gonna go ahead and put Saw coming down now. If they play something that I want to respond to, that's gonna be unfortunate. But I don't think that's the case. I think they're likely just to play an Uro here. Now, if they miss a land drop, or even just a second land drop, that's pretty good for us. So that's one of the lands. Do they have a 5th land? They do. Unfortunate. Yeah, here we're gonna go ahead and just cast Teferi's. They're cracking their passages, and I'm just going in. What am I? The disable stroke. Yeah, let's see if they have the stroke here. Had the stroke. Damn. Like, the thing is, I doubt they're running all that many disdainful strokes in their main deck. So the fact that they were able to get it both times is pretty garbo. Also, I didn't realize they were that close to Uro. So we kind of need removal here. That is not removal. We're just going to try and shark them. Oh, right, they have Maelstrom Pulse. That was a terrible move. Anyway, do I think this is a good sentimental memento? It's not like a rare card, which I think is a little bit better. We don't know the story behind Castle, right? We don't know the story behind this card, right? It's very possible it meant something to the people making this. I am boned. I think I would rather just play an additional game. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the provenance of this piece. In a vacuum, I don't think it's a great card for sentimental value. One, because it's whiteboard. Let's all be honest, whiteboards suck. Two, because it's just a random castle. And this was found in Washington. Like, if this was found, like, in the walls of a castle in Ireland or England or even the castle equivalent in, like, China or literally anywhere where they have what resembles or a castle or fortification, right? I'd say, you know, it makes more sense. But yeah, I don't know. And then C. If you were to establish a sentimental memento via a magic card, which would you choose? It's a good question. That is a very good question. If I were to establish a sentimental memento via a magic card, which would you choose? I would probably choose a card that tells a story. Unfortunately, I like lost one of the cards that I had that told a story. I'm originally from Michigan. Some of you might know that. And in a part of Michigan where one group of my cousins lives. My family is very large. I was playing a game at my cousin's card shop, the card shop that he worked at least, and at some point someone wrote DeckTalk, kind of like Death Clock. It was like DETHTOK, I want to say, because they were like essentially saying like, oh, I give this wolf death touch or something like that, and it was a random wolf. I can't remember exactly what the card was, but yeah, I just had in very bad blocky letters DeckTalk on it, and I had that at the front of my rare binder for a long time. And every time someone would ask me about it, I would give them a brief version of the story, kind of like I did here. And it was always just like kind of a fun thing, you know, a thing that I could look at and remember a time when I was younger, when I was playing Magic with family. And that's really cool. And that's the type of thing I would establish as a sentimental memento, something that tells a story by itself, right? For example, technically speaking, at this point, this card not only is a memento for Tim and Amber, but it's a memento between me and this person specifically, but also like the community, right? This is the first card that I've received in the mail from one of you to my P.O. box. Technically, the first thing I received my P.O. box is my sweet Niko Wolf's blanket. My opponent took a while. But this is the first card, right? And that means something. Even if this isn't a card that I'm going to be playing, even if this isn't a card that's like really related to me, my kind of personality on the channel, as it were. Oh, I did a stupid potentially. Why am I going against Sultai again, dude? Metagame. Historic best of 3. Oh, that's why. 13% of the meta, Gruul aggro. 12% of the meta, Sultai midrange. That's why. Well, why couldn't it be going against aggro? This deck's so much better against aggro, dude. But yeah, so this at this point is a memento for me. So this is awesome. I'm going to keep this in my binder. If at some point, well, I want to hold up this, I suppose. Yeah, I think I just have to like hold up Saw It Coming for like the remainder of eternity. Turn 4, I foretell this. Turn 5, I possibly play this. Or just this, depending, of course, on what my opponent does. That's not suspicious as hell. I wonder if I just, like, Shark Typhoon here. Like, why? I'm just gonna Shark Typhoon here for 1. Just have an annoying creature on the board. If they kill it, I'm fine with that. Shout out to my Glacial Fortresses. So we're going to go ahead and foretell this. Attack in. Do they have a Shark Typhoon? Oh, I'm dumb. They have a Shark Typhoon, don't they? No? What? The front door? What should this deck play? Bruh, I have no idea. There's Shark Typhoon. Why did you block? That's weird. That seemed weird to me. Anyway. Go away. I like need the Teferi. And the letter goes on to say, I'm a big fan of your content. I hope all is well. And I technically have their full name, but I'm just going to say the first name. Kevin. And then this says, P.S. Rip Izar. I got a real kick out of that last part. Spoilers, by the way. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this card and the note attached to it in my rare binder.
We will protect my home.
If I can fold the piece of paper back how I found it. Shoot. Shoot-a-loot, doodle-loot, doodle-doo. Just play Tefers because I have a blocker. I could play Tefers, bounce the Shark? I guess I could just bounce the Nissa. Dumbass. Yeah, I think I played Teferi's, bounced the Nissa. Both of my Shark doesn't die.
Right on schedule. Reverse.
Could have bounced the Shark and then attacked the Nissa, but I don't think that's the correct play. Could definitely be wrong. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep this note right in my rare binder, in the pocket of my rare binder. Rip. And yeah, if you think that this card is something that you placed, hit me up.
How long do you want to wait for a rematch?
Don't you hate when you play a deck and you just play against the bad matchups? I mean, for what it's worth, I could have like chosen literally any other deck today. Let's go ahead and just foretell this. And then why not? Let's just do this. I didn't have anything to do, really, so... I guess I could have just cast this instead of foretelling it. No, I wouldn't have done a 3. Let's I have nothing, you fool! It's all in my foretell zone! Which isn't technically a good thing, but you know, shut up, how about that? I get extra mana just to foretell things. Oh, it gets a Doomskar. Well, I guess I can foretell it for free. Alright, I have Gates. I can do that instant speed. I can do this instant speed too. Guess I'll just... Whoop. Wow! Can return a Salt Coming, I guess? Oh. By the way...
Protects Zendikar and its people.
Okay.
The land is savage and defiant.
I think here, just Gates. I probably should have done that, shouldn't I? Why am I so big? Why did I do it? Why did I do it? Why do I do the things I do? I'm very sorry for that accent. It's just... no! How about no? I did it again. I could have played the Cosmos Charger. Does it say Planeswalker? Just creature, alright. Right, we're taking 6. Ow. Ooh, ow. Oof. They didn't cast the Burrow? Why? Oh, I guess another counterspell. Probably counter the Uru and cast the Cosmos Charger.
The land will devour intruders.
Why are you using this instead of the islands? Like, I don't understand. Mike Lewin, what the why? Why aren't you casting things, dude? I don't get it.
Test me.
I got instance. I can do all this stuff at instant speed, baby. Cast that arrow, or... Okay, yep, hit me for 3.
We will protect.
What is Menace? What does this card have Menace? Yep, Sure, cool. I'm at 8. You're right. I don't understand. Literally anything. Nothing makes sense to me anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and just put her to 1. Should I just be like ignoring Nissa? 3, 6, 6. Just 3-turn clock. Nissa can absolutely kill me. I'm gonna attack Nissa.
You must be stopped.
Yeah, next turn I can kill this. And then, unless they have table passage. Come on, dude. I swear I don't pre-record these. The one card, dude. Ah, nuts. Yeah, then you go to 3, and then you plus to 4. Have to kill it with this. Oh my god, are you gonna finally cast your dumb Uro? Wow. I'm gonna counter it. You fool!
The land will not be safe.
Nope. Thanks for the light game, by the way. Then you plus. Then I killed the Nissa. Yup. Oh my god, this is game 1. Someone please end my life. End my suffering. Oh no, I'm back to not 8. Shut up. Go ahead and foretell this. Oh look, there's another land. Alright, Nissa, please die. Thank you. Alright, so now my opponent has to like actually draw something that I need to worry about. I'm hoping, of course, that they don't. Hoping they have Garbo in hand. What are you doing? Go away. No. Yay. Am I gonna main phase this? It would be 6 total. 4, 5, 6. I'd have 4 mana left over. Nope. I'm gonna do it. Well. Okay, I'm just gonna do it now. Wow, look at that. Foretelling this now is actually cheaper than casting it. Oh, right. It's literally free. Forgot about that. So here, I could be able to pay 2. But I wouldn't be able to cast a counterspell unless I pay this untapped. How many do I have left? I have 3 Sought Comings and 2 Absorbs left. I have a decent number of counterspells left. Holy crap. Did not realize. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize my Shark Typhoon. I think I have to let it go. This doesn't change their clock. It's still a 4-turn clock. Growth Spiral. That's fine. Issue is they're going to cast Uro, I think? Yeah, they're going to cast Uro. So I need to try and grab a counter spell. Okay, they're cycling that. That's fine. What are they trying to keep in here, dude?
I shall return. Endings lead to new beginnings.
No. How can I deal with that? That isn't just 2 Teferis. Alright. I no longer care. I can foretell both of these for free. My opponent has no mana. I will foretell this for free. Foretell this for free. Got a Garbo land. That's fine. I can still only cast this as sorcery. So I wonder if I just attack them and then Doomskar here. I'm gonna main phase Multiverse. Okay. Sure. This is literally free. Cast this, bounce that.
Let's slow this down. Not so fast.
And I think I'm just gonna play this tapped. There's nothing. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do if they cast something large that I can't deal with. Crisp. Okay. Very difficult, but very crisp. So we're gonna look at this deck. Arrows. This is, man. Apparently, I should be running a Aether Gust. Dovin's Veto. Dovin's Veto looks actually pretty decent in this matchup specifically. Do we still want Miska speeds here? I don't think that we do. Do we want Ravenforms? I don't think that we do. So we'll probably take out a couple Doomskars. At least one Niko. Two Niko? Do we take out two Niko? I think we take out two Niko. Sure. My life gain really is to help us against the more aggressive decks. Oh, by the way. Yeah, no, it did it once already. Shut up. I can do these two. It's my greed talking. Opponent's doing math. Oh, that was close. What was that play? Adorable. What? I'm very confused. I don't want to play against this dude. I can't believe I didn't get there with my mulliganing to 2. How could I? Okay, this hand is a hand. Play this turn 1, turn 2, foretell this, and hope. We're almost certainly boned here. Dovin's Veto is probably better than just foretelling. If I had to guess. I guess it depends on what they do here. They did nothing here. We are going to... I think we're going to take the risk and foretell now. They're almost certainly just going to cast an Uro, and I can't deal with Uro anyway. So this is probably going to be Growth Spiral. Yep. Ooh, I forgot they could Growth Spiral into Nissa. Fudge. I may have just blown the game. Oh, Duress? Whatever. Don't know what they take. Probably a Dovin's Veto? Yeah. Makes sense. No arrow from it. That's good for me, I suppose. I need to hold up counter magic. Essentially the rest of the game. So I need to start drawing. Lands. If I draw one more land, then I can put the Cosmos Charger foretold. That would be a huge help. So I can foretell this and still hold up a counter magic from Saw It Coming. Then I can make these a little cheaper to foretell, which will make them cheaper overall. I guess technically if my opponent does nothing here, I can cycle a Shark Typhoon for 0. Just in order to try and get some more stuff here. That was actually fantastic. That goes for 0. Try and get a land. That's not a land. That is also not a land. So unfortunately... Excuse me. Unfortunately, we do have to just pass here. Yeah, we have to just pass here. We can't put our shields down. Our opponent luckily has relatively few cards in hand. So as long as we're able to just keep them off of anything big, then we hopefully can just get there. And we can have a Shark Typhoon for 1 this time. That's nice. There we go. Got a land. Got a fortress, or an absorb. The question, I guess, is do we hold up double counter magic? What am I talking about? I can't hold up double counter magic, dumbass. I'm gonna foretell this. Now my foretells are cheaper. I will not attack. The one damage is not going to matter in this game. It's relatively possible that I win with my opponent being on 20 still. 2, 4, 6. Okay, well that's going to get countered. Unfortunately, they might have a counter as well. Okay, that is unfortunate.
Or your queen necromancer.
That is a surprise.
Effective.
I guess they're just going to try and kill us? I mean, we do have potential access to some good stuff. We're just gonna keep her honest here, I guess.
Now, don't be pushy.
And if I do this for 1, yeah, I'm still. It's essentially the same thing. So, or no, I do it for 2 here anyway. We're just gonna end the turn. I might need to just use an absorb or something.
Good help is easy to find in war.
The issue here is that if I cast this, it might just die. But I think that we have to do it. Alright. Man, this is difficult. Apparently this deck needs 27 lands, by the way. I did keep a 2-lander, didn't I? I'll shut the hell up. I think we attack Liliana down to 3. Then she can't -4 on us. I can hold up Absorb. And if I don't have anything to absorb, I just Shark Typhoon for 3. I think that's probably the most reasonable plan here. I'm going to take 4 down to 14, but I think that's relatively okay. We do have, obviously, we have life gain in the deck, so we can kind of deal with a little bit of damage here and there. But just making it so Liliana can't minus is going to be helpful, I think. Hopefully. Right, they crack the passage. They still only have 1 card in hand, right? So, as long as we have more counters than they have cards, we should be fine. And we can cast both counters. They looked at their graveyard very briefly. Cast an Uro. First cast, totally fine. The second cast is where we get you. Both of these are hard counters. The only difference is that. Ooh, yikes! Did forget about that. Luckily, one of those wasn't land, so. They cast Narset. Well, we're going to counter that. Are we? She's going to be at 4, probably. And I could potentially just... I guess if this is a land... No, No, I'm just going to counter. Don't want to deal with her. This could just be land into another Uro. Or rebuying Uro, at least. She pluses? Sure. I'll take 4 here.
Looks like a fun new toy.
Go down to, what, 17? Do I cycle Shark Typhoon? Probably? Okay. They don't use the Uro yet. I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. Do I cycle the Shark Typhoon? I think I do, honestly. 0. That was a reason that maybe I should have cast this, because I'd at least have another shark. But I have perfect information on my opponent right now. So. Okay, this is nice. So I can kill this. Unfortunately, I can't make tokens here and still hold up counter spells and stuff. This is 6, so Teferi Plus is still not a great idea. I mean, she has to die. I think I just take 6 for a turn. Yeah, I think I just take 6. I can foretell this because it would cost 3 total instead of 4, because she
looks like you're on your own
the
now.
Sleipnir makes this cheaper. So I can counter. I can even, if I need to, I can like Behold the Multiverse and like try and find something the hell else. Crack that, sure. So yeah, I can take 6 and go to 11 here. Like 11 against a Sultai mid-range deck or Sultai Control deck, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I still haven't gotten one of my Doomskars. I would like to keep my Planeswalkers here, but I think I have to let this happen. Yeah, I think I'm going to let this happen. They're going to get rid of my Teferi for certain. And the reason I think I have to let this happen is because I don't want them... I want essentially to strand this Uro into their yard. Okay, looks like they're going to cast the Uro. The Uro, whatever. I don't care. Ah, saw that coming. Take some damage, we Behold the Multiverse. I will take both of those cards, thank you. I will Behold the Multiverse, thank you. Dovin's Veto is kind of nice to see. 1, 2, 3. See, here I think I just need to... I guess maybe I could get a Doomskar. Trying to figure out if I... No, if they're just drawing 1 card a turn, then I'm not going to need to double counterspell. So I have a hard counter and a soft counter. But what's nice is that if I play this... Oh, I guess she's going to go to 1. That's fine. So yeah, I can cast Narset here. I can use Narset.
88 ways. I have just the
Garbage.
for this.
That sucked. Just pass. I get to block. Block. She goes to 1. That's fine, I suppose. Let's see. Shoot. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's why I actually should have just put this into the foretell zone. Yeah, I was just about to reference that, because Thoughtseize here is pretty unfortunate. Because now they get to resolve this. Fudge. Fudge. Rather have the mana open. Yeah, that was just some misplay on my part. I should have just done that immediately. Now my opponent can just Uro here. Because they know whatever this is, at least. I can't cast. Oh, man. Luckily they can't draw, at least.
So disappointing.
Overwhelming.
I'm so disappointed with myself. So they're not going to be able to draw. They just have this. I just need to get a Doomskar, essentially. I only have 2 in the deck, though, because I took some out. Did not expect a Liliana. We do keep Narset around. at the very least.
Sloppy technique.
Yeah. Oh. Good to very bounce this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then lose one of my planeswalkers, most likely my Teferi. Alternatively, I could Starnheim Unleashed for 2 and hold up the sod coming. I think I would rather do that. Yeah, do this for 2. Just make sure I still have. I am not going to attack? No. I have a counterspell. They still can only draw, like they can't draw an additional card this turn. I am not going to let Narset die, because if this is a... That's an interesting attack. Because this is just a double block here. Yeah, so that... Now I don't even need a Doomskar. Yeah, now I can kind of just play Teferi. Bog me? That's fine.
I'll have a better plan next time.
Hey, look. It's a Doomskar. Q. Alright, we're gonna Tefers. 2 plus.
I know my... Let's skip to
34,
the good
37.
part.
And we're gonna attack with the Angel because it has Vigilance. I totally forgot about that. Enter. Untap these. Doesn't matter. Because it costs 5. Alright, one loss against Sultai Control, 1 win against Sultai Control. Definitely take those. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. That's just good old fashioned doing the best I can. I'm gonna hop into the deck talk where I'll discuss a little bit more about my thoughts on the individual cards. Here we go. So, notice we don't have any 2-drops. Now, when I was building this deck, I did consider things like Censor, things like Search for Kenta, even like 2-mana removal that you sometimes see in the main deck of these white decks. Aether Gust, I guess technically more of a counterspell. Baffling End type cards, those types of effects. But when I was cutting down, I did want to maximize the number of Foretell cards because I wanted to showcase the mechanic. And I just found myself cutting Censor last and seeing the fact that I don't have any 2-mana spells, but that should be fine because my plan is to literally always have something to foretell on turn 2. Once it gets to the sideboard, obviously we have other 2-drops that we can play, but generally speaking, I want to always be able to have something to foretell on 2, and then hold up for essentially like whenever I need it, right? So we have 3 Narset Parter Veils. I think this is a very strong card just in general, especially considering the fact that Sultai Control midrange, whatever you want to call it, is kind of a big force right now. I think that she's just great, and considering the fact that other than lands and 3 Cosmos Charger, she should hit relatively often. Or sometimes she's not. But, you know, we roll with those. 4 saw it coming. I love this counterspell. I think it's fantastic. Yes, technically it can potentially cost you 4 total mana. But it's mana over the course of turns. And being able to hold up 2 instead of 3 is huge. Because it means that as long as you can essentially guarantee that Teferi is going to resolve on turn 3, or on turn 5, sorry, it means that you'll still be able to have protection up, whereas if with Absorb, you're not. And if you have Censor, you're still not necessarily going to have that counter magic up. Yes, technically speaking, in some scenarios, Dovin's Veto is going to help you out with that. In some scenarios, Negate or Essence Scatter will help for that. But the fact that Stalk Coming just does is great. Niko Defies Destiny. This is the memest card here because of the fact that it just like works with Foretell. Theoretically, this could be something else. It's also possible that Esper Foretell would be better, and I'll dive into the black cards with Foretell in a second. But yeah, Niko Defies Destiny, this essentially is just to help a little bit against the aggressive decks. I get to gain potentially a lot of life. 6 is, I think, the average that I got during the early access streamer event. Being able to just have a little bit of extra mana in a turn so you can cast that Doomskar while still holding up a counter magic or whatever, or just foretelling something even, it's quite nice. And then being able to rebuy like a Doomskar, for example. That's crisp, right? Like if you have to use Doomskar multiple times, not having to draw multiple Doomskars, even though you're running 4, is very helpful. 4 absorbs. This is still just like the best counter magic that we could have in this deck because it gains life and counter spells. It's nice. 2 Starnheim Unleashed. They very well can be a win con. I'm still like really low on this card. I just feel like the rate is still just not great. Like 4 mana for a 4/4, sure, whatever. It's 2 mana plus 5 mana to get 2 4/4s, which is 7 total mana. Yes, technically it's spread across 2 turns, but still, like the rate just doesn't feel great, especially for a mythic. That said, Johannes Voss did a fantastic job on the angel on the far left who's freaking out. For Behold the Multiverse, crisp, does exactly what we wanted to do. Scry 2, draw 2 cards. It's great. Many people will ask, well, why not just cast it for 4? Like, if you're going to leave up the mana, like if you're going to turn 4 and you can leave up the mana, like why not just pay 4? The reason is because you don't have to foretell this on the turn, like right before you're going to cast it. Like, yes, sometimes it's going to be better to just cast it, just hold up the 4 total mana. For example, if you have Absorb, no Saw It Coming in the foretell zone, and Behold, then yes, you would rather just hold up the 4 mana, because then you could absorb, and if you don't have anything to absorb, you get to behold. But in situations where you have Saw It Coming in the foretell zone, then it's less of an issue to just Behold the Multiverse. Or foretell it. 3 Cosmos Charger. It has Flash. It's a flyer. It also just works really nicely with Foretell. I mean, that's essentially it. This ability stacks, as we saw, so getting 2 of these out means that we get to Foretell for free. If you have all 3, you're not going to get a rebate. You don't play a Foretell card and you get a colorless mana, or a generic mana, I should say. But yeah, it's a decent card. It hits nice. 4 Doomskars. We're playing a control deck. We want board wipes. You can play this board wipe on turn 3. You foretell it on turn 2. Your Gruul opponent went, a stupid opening hand with a Burning Emissary. Blow it up. 3 Teferi. Potentially should have 4 of these and 3 of these. I don't know why. I don't. This should probably be 4 Teferis, 3 Shark Typhoons. Because Teferi's just strong. Draw a card, hold up magic, counter magic, bounce a thing. You win the game. Shark Typhoon. I like the fact that you can just cycle this card. Apparently we need freaking 27 lands in this deck or something. Or also keeping a 2-lander in a control deck is also just a terrible idea. Never punished, by the way. But yeah, this card can help you grind out if you can get this down and have it stick. That said, I actually might... This is another card that I probably cut if I'm playing an Esper version. Right? It's probably like Niko, Starnheim, and then Shark Typhoon are the main cuts there. Pretty normal mana base. We're only running 1 Vantress because we have access to 3 gates. This mana base is possibly too white oriented. This is 8. This is 8. When I think blue is more, yeah. So there probably should be more islands. Yeah. Sideboard, we have 3 red. Look, the sideboard is very general. I didn't know what I would be facing. Because I am a bum, and I didn't modify this deck for the current metagame. It probably looked very different for what it's worth. 3 Rest in Peace against graveyard decks, 4 Dovin's Veto against any other control deck, as well as the meme deck that I will not speak its name. Weathered Runestone. I wanted to try it out. All right, you're going to see it a lot. 3 Mystical Dispute against other control decks, and 3 Ravenform against any deck where there's a pesky thing that just needs killing. So let's really briefly talk about the Foretell. Oh, oops, forgot the E. Foretell, there we go. And let's look at the ones with black in them. Poison the Cup is very interesting. This is like when we have creatures out in the field and like we have nothing, like we can't kill them. That's bad, right? That's very bad. So having a card that actually kills a creature is quite nice. Obviously, this still doesn't deal with planeswalkers, but it's not like our deck can deal with planeswalkers right now anyway. So I think that Poison the Cup would be the main addition. And I've heard that the Scry 2 on this is just delicious. And I mean, scrying in a control deck is even better than is typical. Skull Raid is probably not great, not good enough anyway. And that's kind of it, really. Like, there's no multicolored cards. It's really just Poison the Cup. Theoretically, you could also play Rise of the Dreadmarn for like the memes when you Doomskar someone. Like you Doomskar plus this, and then you get like, ooh, cool, I have a bunch of zombies. But it's mostly this. Theoretically, you could play Skull Raid. I don't love it. But for what it's worth, like this is just the other Foretell card. You'd also be able to run things like Thought Erasure, other blue Ashiok probably, right? You'd be able to add other non-Foretell cards to this deck. You essentially would add like 3 Poison the Cups, get rid of Starnheim Unleashed, the Niko Defies Destiny. You throw in like some Thought Seizes and or Thought Erasures, get rid of the rest of the Nikos, and then maybe you run a couple of Ashioks on the high end, get rid of a couple of Shark Typhoons, right? So that's kind of my ideals if you're going to go with a Esper version. Is it worth trying to run a Jeskai version? I don't think so. No. Definitely not. So yeah, I would stick to either blue, white, or Esper. I think the Esper version might be better. The fact that like Poison the Cup is pretty decent. So I think an Esper version might be better than just the Azorius version. How do the lands change there? The blue-black one is not necessary in this deck. The black-white one is not necessary in any deck because it's garbage. But yeah, that's this deck. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know that a lot of people don't like control, but I really like the Foretell cards, and the best way to do that is with control. So that was this. A reminder, I have a P.O. box. Someone sent me something on it. Cool. Send me more things. I'll open them on camera. If you want me to not read them on camera and or open them on camera, you can just write that anywhere on that message. Or if you have sent me something, you can message me on Discord and say, hey, I sent you something. You can open it on camera, just like don't read the note that's in it or something like that. Like whatever, like any type of that information. Totally kosher. I would like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Fogwind, Malik, and Balater for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description below. Do of course hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, do that like, comment, subscribe thing. It really helps out the show. And of course, until next time, I will be one.